Mike, Beth, Eric Davis, Haydocy Airstream, talking 23-foot International Signature CCD edition. Doesn't get any better than this. I want to thank you guys for coming out. I'm going to do a quick walk around on the 23. We'll start outside. Hopefully it will help answer a couple of those questions that you might still have. Because once again, it's Airstream. It's the best of the best. So we're going to start right up front. The Barker power system, leveling here. Certainly not only that, we talked about when you're towing, to bring the BMW in and be able to do that level playing field running down the road. Is it necessary for that weight distribution hitch? You probably read a little bit about that equalizer system. Does it work? It don't get any better than that. But the Barker system obviously helps in that pursuit. You've got the beautiful brushed aluminum tanks, twin 30-pound propane. You're going to stay off grid for weeks. You got plenty of propane to do that. We talked about the availability of propane. You'll be able to find it, but still, to have this opportunity to have 30 pounds of propane, it's a beautiful thing. The Signature has dual deep cell batteries. They are marine type 12 volt. We use the best battery that we can for this purpose. It's a interstate battery. The pair of them combined. We'll talk a little bit more about the inverter system on the inside, but this is a 23-foot platform with dual deep cell batteries. That's a beautiful thing. Your spare tire, undermounted. No access from UV light. It lays into a cradle, so with CoachNet though, that 24/7 roadside assistance for 2 years, you want to change your own tire, good luck with that. But why don't we just call CoachNet and have them handle it for you? We talked about the jewelry. This would be the stainless steel wraps that protect the beautiful chassis. This can be polished and buffed out. The aluminum cannot be. So to have this protection, not to mention the cool factor. I still think about what that's going to look like, the BMW with the 23 rolling down the road. This is pivot. This is got a hinge on it, so it pivots out. So what we can do is get behind it to clean, make sure everything is where we need it to be. This is Lexan. I call this the sunglasses. The sunglasses, what that's going to do is help you to keep that bedroom area cool or the living area cool. It creates its own awning. Inside here, tempered glass with 3-position window. This is going to allow certainly air movement, but also, is it the cool factor? Of course it is. You have a quick disconnect propane port. We're going to give you that additional gas line where we can plug in. What can I use that for? Certainly that gas grill. I can set up shop outside the trailer. You might want a space heater. You might want to utilize it for backflow capabilities. But the quick disconnect propane port here, and obviously also protected by the tongue of the trailer. Once again, stainless wraps. We haven't removed the protective coating. You've got ball jacks. These are the best stabilizers in the business. Plus they look cool, but they are at all 4 points on the exterior. We talked about these beautiful radius, buck riveted Airstream windows with rain guards. This is going to let all that light pour in. You've got Vista View windows up top. And then the further addition to this model would be that application of the window wrap awnings. Now, while it's cool, it serves a purpose. Not only does it cut down on that heat, because by design, Airstream will be 7 to 10 degrees cooler in the summer, 10 to 15 degrees warmer in the winter. But with the addition of the window awning package, my refrigerator, which is right here, this will allow this to perform to its best capability. Now let's talk about potable water. Locking, your potable water is locked. The resource goes to a freshwater tank, which is located directly between the axles. What does that mean? Airstream will be really the only manufacturer that tells you go ahead, load up on water, because it's going to improve your ride down the road. Also, we talked a little bit about the rubber torsion bar axle system made by Dexter. You've got shock absorbers, you've got dual wheels. When we ultimately talked about this and rolling down the road, the obvious about a dual axle is we lose a tire, guess what? We're still rolling. But really, with this system, which has been around since the 60s for Airstream, it's really about the longevity of the trailer, protecting what's inside, the ease or the comfort rolling down the road. Dexter axle system doesn't get any better than that. Outdoor shower, we're going to hose off Grandma. When Grandma needs hosed off, we've got hot water, we've got cold water. You're coming out of the ocean. It's nice to have that opportunity to have an outdoor shower. Then we talk about the business end. We've got our gray tanks, our black tanks. I'm going to teach you all about that fun stuff. But this is your water inlet port. Now, the Airstream, what it does is puts a regulator, a built-in regulator. So if you're the last one to leave the campground, guess what? We're going to be protected from the, that pressure that's coming into our trailer. It's going to keep it at a consistent 65.5 psi. Beautifully done. Then we have this. This is our black water flush system. We take that fresh water, we hook up to our black water flush system. If you think about an umbrella where we've removed the fabric and those tines are pumping out high pressure water, that's going to clean that clean hands. So it's all about the ease of operation, the system, and the longevity of our Airstream. You have that opportunity for 30 amp service, and we have hookups for both satellite and cable. Come on around. The business end of an Airstream. You've got the bumper. You have that same beautiful window awning wrap that goes around the outside. I want to just point on LED lighting. All of our lighting is LED. All of our running lamps, LED. All of our interior lamps, LED. Once again, it's all about that concept about this poor Airstream being around a lot longer, Beth, Mike, than you and I. You have storage. Storage has got, you have this beautiful LED lamp. You've got certainly a well insulated. In fact, the doors on the exterior are as well or better insulated than the actual interior of the unit. And then we've got a bumper. The bumper, to me, is a beautiful thing. You want to talk about maybe a bike rack mount, something that we can, not to mention the additional storage that is created. I was able yesterday to show you the awning. You've got 20 feet of awning on this travel trailer. This allows you to dip it at various positions. Also, we can drag it all the way down if we've got low sun in the horizon. And when we did the demonstration, I think I showed you that I put this awning up in about 30 seconds. Really? You can't push a button that fast. This is your excess water heater here, a 6-gallon recycling Atwood system. And the one thing about Airstream, they use mainstream product lines. If we ever have to do any repairs to an Airstream, we know we aren't going to get socked with that big expense because these things are standard in the industry. We talked a little bit about how an Airstream is built. First of all, you have this beautiful screen door. You've got the people protector, you've got the kid protector, and also the Radius Airstream door takes Airstream 8 hours just to manufacture the door, which, by the way, has all that light streaming in. You've got overhead LEDs, and when you close the door on an Airstream, guess what? That door closes. I think I talked a little bit about if we were dealing with other manufacturers. I closed the door that hard. I don't know, maybe the door ends up on the pavement out here. It's a beautiful thing. Why don't you guys come on in? Let's take a look at the interior of the Signature. In walking into the Signature, obviously what catches your eye, I guess, would be the drama of the interior. What I love, though, at your fingertips is all of the working, you have overhead LED lamps which are on a dimmer, so that I can take the deck living area, and I can utilize all this fun rheostated lighting. I've got all my interior and exterior lamps, and then I have the battery disconnect, which is going to, you'll be utilizing that when you store, you'll be utilizing that when you're running down the road to make sure everything is on, off, if you will. And then let's check out this beautiful interior. Now you have this ultra leather, which is done in the oyster finish, which, by the way, you can't scratch it, you can't damage it. Lay down on this with your wet bathing suit. This will take the abuse. The other thing about it, it breathes. It will adapt to your body temperature. No hot, sticky in the summer, no cool, slick in the winter. And then we have that other opportunity where we can do the pull-out bed. We have a drop-down dinette here, which will give us a dual sleeper. But think about what the fun stuff we can do. Let's take the table down. We can drop it into position, put the sofa together by taking the back cushion here and creating a lounge. Or I can remove it if I have guests, and then I have a wide open seating area. I love it. Notice all the light that's pouring in. The overhead dual radius windows. We've got the radius Airstream windows. We have light streaming in from above. We've got light from our outside door. And then we have the panoramic windows that wrap the entire front edge of the trailer. I love the setup on the 23. Now, some of the brains of the operation. You have a Clarion sound system with that subwoofer. We want to blow the doors off the neighbors. Let's do it. Then we've got inside here, we've got the Blu-ray player. You have additional charging USB ports. And then we have the brains if I want to hook up my Pandora. I want to take Netflix from my computer. And I have that secondary set of outlets, which we talked about. Mike, was the inverter system. That takes that power from those dual deep cell batteries, turns it into an outlet power, which I can use 110 appliances. So I want to plug my computer in, fire that thing up. I'm good to go because I have 1,000 watts of inverted power. Then we have the fun stuff. We've got the overhead here. We've got our Bluetooth microphone where you can sync your phone to the trailer. Then we have fantastic fans. We have air pouring through. We know our front entrance. We have window 3 position here. We've got pairs of windows here. The amount of air that I can pull through this travel trailer, frankly, is phenomenal. So the seating area, and you've got dual speakers, you've got lighting underneath, and you've got these beautiful ocean air shades, which can go to a couple of different positions. So once again, is it clean? Is it cool? Of course, it's an Airstream. Let's check mid-deck. The Galley. The Galley setup in the 23 is pretty cool. First of all, what catches your eye is the deep well stainless steel. Lucite cover goes on top if we need additional counter space. You've got these beautiful porthole windows with, once again, the brushed steel. All of the brains of the operation is at your fingertips here. I can monitor every tank. I can monitor my battery. My water pump is located here. We talked a little bit about that because you're drawing really from 2 water sources, my freshwater tank, or if I'm using a city water hookup, I don't need to pull the water to the resource using the pump. It supplies its own pressure. Then we have the inverter system. The inverter system acknowledges here. That's kind of fun because if I'm off grid, or if the practical purpose would be I'm rolling down the road, I'm at the rest area, guess what? I'm sitting there, I got my TV on, I got maybe the entertainment thing going, I got my computer plugged in, and I'm drawing off of a resource without having shore power plugged in. Beautiful. Notice the appliances here. This is Growy. Obviously the best of the best. Storage on the inside of the Airstream is phenomenal. You have fun stuff like additional wastebasket there. So the setup here, and then we have the combination of the stainless steel top oven with stainless steel front. We've got the overhead European vented fan, which also gives us access to the entire storage, which, by the way, we have backlit lighting on the upper cabinetry, so obviously it's very beautifully accomplished here. And with that, we have pantry space. We've got pull-out pantry space. Airstream provides, you know, kind of the fun stuff, if you will. And then overhead we have storage. Now this can be utilized a couple of ways. This could, if I need additional clothes storage, fine, because I have my big wardrobe. But once again, pantry or actually when you think about the 23, I got all kinds of space. Across the deck here, what's going to present is the convection microwave. Beth, we talked about this. You want to bake cookies? We can bake cookies in this. Everything at your disposal. Then you've got the big refrigerator freezer. The other thing about this is it's got a brain. What I mean by that is if I'm plugged into shore power and say we're getting ready to go on our trip, I'm loading everything into my refrigerator. When I release that shore power with an automatic setting, automatically switches over to propane as I'm rolling down the road. When I get to my campsite, I plug back in, automatically switches back over to the preferred resource. So the galley setup in the Airstream, beautifully accomplished. Now let's talk about if I have guests. If I have guests, I'm able to take care of my privacy, if you will, by separating the fore cabin from the back cabin. I love that setup because I hope, have at some point someone riding along. We want to make sure that that happens for you. Then the master bedroom presents with the pillow top mattress. Once again, you have reading lamps, you have the sound system, you have overhead backlit cabinetry with LED lighting. Then you have the deck cabin. The cabin itself has the rheostated LED lights. Now, secondary resource as far as the fantastic fan, and this is what's going to exhale tens of thousands of cubic feet of air. I love this thing. So the setup here is actually beautiful. And across the deck from the master is going to be the dinette. The dinette has the same growy setup with the stainless steel. We've got medicine cabinet storage. We've got overhead storage. And then we have everything is at your fingertips here, which would be the Dometic system, which is the heating and cooling system. So the dinette sets up beautifully. And guess what? They've even given us a secondary wardrobe. So I've got dual wardrobe cabins in this. Obviously my dinette cabin. And when it comes right down to it, now I've got my interior bathroom. What's great about this is lots of light pouring in, plenty of room to change my socks. I've got this self-wicking shower. Mike, I think you brought your big frame on in here and you found that it's pretty comfortable even for a big guy. Your resource here allows you to turn off and on at the resource. And then of course overhead I've got LED lighting and additional venting. So I have my overhead venting, I have my 12-volt fan for venting inside the bathroom. So once again, on a relatively small platform, I've got all kinds of room. So once again, the setup for the bathroom, which by the way, let's not forget the porthole window, which has been done to acknowledge, if you will, that signature look from Airstream, the 23-foot International Signature CCD edition. Mike, Beth, want to thank you once again. The 23-foot International Signature. The right size, the right weight, the look, if you will, for rolling down the road. The 23-foot International Signature. The best thing I can say to you at this point would be enjoy the journey and happy camping.